Last soul on the to-die list. I dare say this is my most productive shift yet. But where, oh where? Oh, hello, darling. Fancy running into you here, isn't it? Quite a coincidence, considering this just so happens to be the end of the month that I gave you to think about my offer. Yes, it certainly is a rather strange twist of fate. One could even suggest that I had a hand in pulling the strings this time. Oh, it really wasn't all that difficult, darling. All I had to do was convince Will to let me have the shift this night and give me the ledger. Really, nothing too difficult. Although, I must say, it's rather curious to see you out so early in the morning. The stars have barely begun to fade from the sky. What are you doing out? Oh, yes, I know. Phantom Hive always sends his servants out at such odd hours, doesn't he? Though I suppose you would know better than I. Now then, about the date today. It is February 14th, and I made my offer on January 14th. Oh, yes, don't bother with the excuses. I already know you don't have your decision quite yet. I understand you are a very busy woman and that you don't always have time to think about other things aside from work. However, while I was doing a little bit of research into when I might run into you today, I stumbled across something rather odd in your past. Would you like to hear what I found? Well, you see, darling, this world, how shall I put this? It's not the only world. In case you didn't notice from the reapers and demons and angels that run amok in this city. You see, darling, there are layered realities. Some of them overlap. And in your case, well, the overlapping realities have gotten quite tangled with each other. When someone dies, their soul doesn't disappear completely. In some cases, they go to heaven, as most people like to call it, hell. Their soul could be consumed by a demon. They could end up in purgatory, they could become a reaper. But sometimes they are reincarnated, so to speak. Their soul is given another chance at life. And in your case, well, your soul has been around for centuries, eons even. You have a very rare soul indeed, my lady. Now, what I'm going to explain to you is far more complicated than it seems. I'm trying to make it a bit simpler, as even I struggle to understand it. When you die, if you are selected to be reincarnated, your soul is split, in a manner of speaking, that is. And you are combined with other matter to create a different, unique soul, to see what would happen if your life had been just the slightest bit different. Somehow, every piece of your soul, from whenever it was shattered, every piece has reunited, and your soul it is now completely whole again, as it was when you were first brought into existence. Now, what exactly does that mean for you? Well, I discovered something else that was very interesting. Throughout your existence in the various timelines and layered realities, you touched the hearts of several people. Some of them were reincarnated as well, and their souls roam the city. According to this ledger book with your name on it, several of those souls do not remember you. Quite a pity that is, truly, but it's also quite fortunate. Let me see. Well, apparently you and I have run into each other in a previous life. How odd. And in a reality where they were human, you seem to have run into Sebastian and Claude. Oh, right. You don't know him yet. Oh, no reason to worry, my lady. Everything will happen when it is time for it to happen. Claude's master, Alois Trancy. Apparently you met him in another life. There are several names that I don't recognize, however. Some of the realities take place in a world that is completely different, and it doesn't resemble our own at all. For instance, this name, Erin, I believe it's pronounced. I believe that he is from a world such as those that are only thought of in nightmares. Another one, Nagisa, Annie, Marco. The list goes on and on, darling. It would take me years, I believe, to list every single one for you. But what I've come to realize is that your time is almost up. You've been put on the to-die list. The date is still a bit hazy and undetermined, but your name is on the list. No escaping it now. And because your soul has found its way back to its true self, I believe that you will be asked to decide where the pieces go, whose life you would like to be a part of again. I don't know much about those from another world. Nobody knows about those from other worlds, unless they are from worlds that mirror our reality. However, I did find this in your book. I'm not exactly sure what it is. It appears to be an old reel of film, but when I look at it, it's blank. I believe that if you play it, you might be able to gaze into their lives, see how much you affected them. And once you see that video, that film, whatever nonsense is on that reel. I think you'll finally be able to make your choice, darling. In the meantime, consider this. A reaper is immortal. For the most part, that is. Choose to leave a piece of your soul with me. And I'll guard it with my life. I'm deadly serious, darling.